This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another informational Valheim video. Today we're talking about the Iron Age. Let's get to it. So in order to get iron, you need this key right here, the swamp key. In order to get this key, you have to defeat the second boss. So let's start off with talking about the second boss. The second boss is called the Elder. The location is going to be some random spot on your map because the maps are procedurally generated, so who knows where it's at on your map, but you can unlock it pretty easy and have the game show you where it's at. Just wander around the forest and read all of the little stones that are around there with the red text on them. Eventually you will find one that will just unlock it for you. I actually found a couple wandering around in this area right around in here. Found two. Once it's unlocked, the second one just does the same thing and it tells you it's unlocked. But anyway, to summon him, you are going to need 3 ancient seeds. In order to get those, you're going to need to find the gray dwarf nests. Those are the spawners. They spawn the gray dwarf. There is a specific one that comes out. He has a club. He has a chance to drop it. Now, I advise to find one of these spawners and just set up shop and farm them. As long as you're standing there, they seem to just keep spawning indefinitely. And every now and then they will spawn one of these ones with the club, and then you have a chance of him dropping a seed. Now, the other thing you can do is you can just farm the nests. Each time you kill one of the nests, you'll get at least 1 seed. Now, the thing is, if you go about destroying the nests, I don't know if the nests ever respawn. So if you want to farm the second boss more than once for whatever reason, maybe you lost your key, what have you, you may be better off just farming the nests and farming the dude with the club that comes out of the nest and farming the seeds that way. That's what I recommend doing, but you know, it's your game. Go about doing it however you want to go about doing it. Now that you know how to summon him, let's prep for summoning him. Make sure you have decent armor and you're well equipped. Don't go in there with no little crap armor or no armor at all. As you see, I got the troll hide armor on. I have a total of 25 armor. He still hits extremely hard with 25 armor. On top of that, I highly recommend eating the carrot soup, 1 cooked meat, and 1 of the Queen's Jam before you go in there. If you do that, it's going to give you a massive amount of HP and a massive amount of stamina to burn, both of which are going to be extremely helpful for the fight. So once you have your armor and you have eaten and your health is full, your stamina is full, and you're ready to go, let's talk about the fight. So once you've gotten to the altar for this boss, you're just going to walk up to the fire. It's going to ask you to burn an item. Just drag the ancient seeds up to one of the numbered slots up here, hit that number, and it's gonna summon him. Now be ready. This guy is no joke. So have your bow ready and then wait for him to be summoned. Make sure you have plenty of health, plenty of stamina, and then you're just going to fire the fire arrows at him. Now, this isn't going to be a full guide. I will show you how to absolutely break this guy and make it easy, but this is the strategy that I used. If you're watching this in the future, check my Valheim playlist and see if there is a guide there for him. If you're watching this the day that it was published, there won't be one yet. So anyway, this right here hurts really bad, destroys everything, even stone, but it does not destroy these pillars here. So what you can do is just hide behind it, wait till he does that, and then fire. And then he will do it again, and then you just fire. And it looks like he's stuck this time. The first time I did him, he was not stuck. He was actually a menace to fight. So anyway, he does the roots too. When he does that, get out of the area that you're in and go behind another pillar. And then you just want to keep firing the fire arrows at him. So that's the strategy that I used to take him down. And like I said, when I first fought him, he was not stuck like he was now, and he was all over me. But apparently, he can get stuck, so that's kind of nice. If he gets close to you, he also has a massive AoE stomp. And I was going to see if I could get him to do it, but apparently he does not want to. The roots will also slap you, and they hurt really bad as well. Anyway, that's the boss. You need to take him down. Okay, now that you got your key, the next thing you need to do is find a swamp because you need the crypt, and the crypt is somewhere in the swamp. I don't know if there's more than one. There may be more than one. They could be like the other dungeons that are on the map. I haven't made it that far, but I did find one. So you're going to need crypts. The key unlocks the crypts so that you can get into them. Inside those crypts is where you find the iron, but you have to find a swamp first. I highly recommend building a boat and just going around the area. Just stay next to the landmass that you're on until you see a swamp, or if you don't see a swamp, you can also just kind of run around until you've completely uncovered your landmass. So if you take a look here, this is my starter island. There's a small river here that separates the two landmasses here. So there's a chunk here and then there's a chunk down here. The swamp for me was all the way down here. Now I've talked to some other people. They had to sail far away, like way over up in here or wherever, to find a swamp. So once you've found the swamp, then you need to wander around said swamp until you find a crypt. So once you've entered the crypt, you will find muddy scrap piles. For me, they were blocking the doorway. You're going to need a pickaxe. I highly recommend bringing at least 2 pickaxes with you because they run down pretty quickly and there's a lot of these to harvest. So for me, the first crypt that I found and that I went into, there were 4 doors right at the beginning and they were all covered in the muddy scrap pile. So you need to clear that completely out. Even once you think you've cleared all of it out, kind of just mash around a little bit with your pickaxe and make sure, because there can be tiny little bits here and there that you missed, and that's going to increase your chances of getting more iron. You can get iron out of them. You can get other stuff too. I think I got leather and some other random crap out of there. So it doesn't just give iron. Then once you get into the next area after you've cleared out the doorway, there should be some chests and other stuff, and in the chests you also have a chance of finding iron. So keep in mind that you will find iron in the crypt, but everything that gets you iron is not a 100% chance to get iron. So the muddy scrap piles, while they can give iron, won't always, and the chests, while you can find iron in them, won't always have iron in them. Now here's the downside. Once you have your iron, you have to tote it all the way back to your house because you cannot teleport with any of the metals in this game. So as you saw in the clip, this is what the scrap iron looks like. This is what you're after. You take that scrap iron and you put it in your smelter and it gets you one of these iron bars. It's a 1-for-1 ratio. When you pick up your first iron bar, you will unlock all of these recipes. I highly recommend, after you get your first couple of pieces of iron smelted, to make a stone cutter. So the stone cutter, well, is a crafting station just like your workbench over here. So it will have recipes in it. As you can see here, I can make a sharpening stone with it. I can't upgrade anything right now. The only thing I have is the sharpening stone, but it also works like your workbench and the fact that you need it to build stone structures. So if I grab my hammer here and we go over to building and I highlight over the stone wall, you can see that I need the stone cutter in 3 stone in order to make the stone wall. Anytime you want to make a stone structure, you need to have one of these nearby, just like you have to have one of the workbenches nearby to make a wooden structure. Luckily though, it's super cheap, only costing you 2 iron bars and 4 stone and 10 wood. And then if you break it down and move it, you get all of those resources back. So it's no big deal if you have to break it down, and it's super good to have. It also has to have a roof over it, just like this station, the workbench station. It works the exact same as the workbench, just allowing you to craft stone recipes apparently and make stone structures. And that's pretty much it. Now, here's the thing. This took me a while to do. This was a whole thing, getting to the boss, finding the boss, getting the seeds, then finding the swamp. And then the swamp is a very, very dangerous place. Don't go into the swamp thinking, oh, this is going to be fine. I'm just going to run through there and it's not going to be a problem. There's skeletons in the swamp. There's draugrs in the swamp. The draugrs hit really hard. Anytime you get in the water, there's freaking leeches in the water. They will poison you for a very long time. And if you don't have a lot of health, it's pretty much certain death. The draugrs have archers just like the skeletons and melees just like the skeletons. And there's also skeletons, and the draugr archers hit extremely hard. There's also slimes. I haven't been hit by a slime yet, so I can't tell you how hard they hit or exactly what they do, but they're slimes. They jump pretty far and they jump at you. It's a very, very dangerous place. So be very careful when you go there. Be prepared when you go there. If I find any other ways to get iron that is less of a pain in the butt, I will make sure to post a guide for it. But for now, that's pretty much the only way that I found to get iron. Okay, hopefully you found this video informational. If you did, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. I don't just cover Valheim, it just so happens it's the featured game right now. I cover all kinds of different games, so you never know when I'm going to be making guides for a game that you may be playing. Alright, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my elite crew of Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.